Hi and welcome to the introduction of enableHR's Training and Qualification feature. Just to introduce myself, my name is Jackie and I am one of the Client Experience Officers here at enableHR. enableHR's Training and Qualification feature allows you to track, record, and report on training, qualifications, skills, licenses, and compliance requirements. This feature is beneficial as it allows you to streamline the management of training and qualifications with our full integrated online application. It helps you notify your workers of their training and qualification requirements by assigning competencies and roles to their record. It allows your workers to proactively manage their requirements through enableHR's self-service portal. Ensure your business compliance through enableHR's reporting that empowers you to proactively analyze, plan, track, and manage training and qualification obligations. Ensure that critical dates are never missed through enableHR's alerts and reminders, and save time on enableHR's streamlined setup process. The Training and Qualification feature is powered by enableHR's self-service portal, which means that your candidates, employees, contractors, and volunteers can log into their own self-service account to assign, update, and track their competencies without having to disrupt the human resources department. enableHR's functionality extends across desktop, smartphone, and tablet devices so that your managers and workers can easily access the system at any time from anywhere on any device. Setting up the Training and Qualification feature is simple and straightforward, involving 5 easy steps. First step, Training and Qualification Administration Setup. The HR department or the relevant manager will need to set up the Training and Qualification feature via the administration area within your enableHR application. You will need to ensure that the relevant user has the correct access control, roles, and permission. Step 2, create the library of company competencies. The manager will need to create the comprehensive library of competencies that are relevant to your organization. Competencies can be created individually or in bulk by using one of our Excel spreadsheet importers. Step 3, create new roles to reflect job and function types. The manager will then need to create a selection of roles to reflect the business's different job types and functions. Roles are used to group a number of competencies together that are all relevant to a specific role. Roles can be created individually or in bulk by one of our Excel spreadsheet importers. You will then be required to select the competencies that you created in the previous step that are necessary to this specific role. Step 4, assign roles and competencies to the relevant workers. The manager now needs to assign the roles and competencies to your candidate, employee, contractor, and/or volunteer records. You can assign competencies individually or assign a group of competencies simply by assigning a role that you created in the previous step. Step 5. Update individual worker files with status and details of each competency. As the final step, the manager now needs to review each worker and update each competency to reflect the status of each training and qualification requirement. This process can be done in bulk by one of our Excel spreadsheet importers. However, it is recommended to be done individually to ensure the quality and integrity of the data. Alternatively, you can require your workers to update their details themselves via the self-service portal. Once the setup process is complete, you will be able to generate reports to empower your business to quickly identify the status of your training and qualification requirements. enableHR's reporting module will provide you with a report that looks similar to this preview. In this particular report, it shows all the employees on the left-hand side and all the competencies created in your enableHR application. It then shows by color coding which competencies are assigned to which employee and the status of the competency. So let's head on to the enableHR's application to begin the demonstration. To access the Training and Qualification Administration area within your enableHR application is to click on the Settings drop-down menu on the top right-hand corner and selecting Training and Qualification option. Once you are in the administration area, this is where you can create the required competencies and roles that your business is seeking to track, record, and report for compliance purposes. Within the Competency tab, you'll see a new Competency button. This button should be used to create all your company competencies as your first step. As an example, I'm going to create a driver's license competency. As you can see, the steps and the process is pretty straightforward. All you need to do is follow the prompts and complete the relevant fields. Competencies can be used to track a broad range of function and role requirements, such as the need to attend a regular training course or to ensure that relevant qualification, licenses, and certificates are always up to date. From there, you can head into the Roles tab where you can create a selection of roles to reflect your business's different job types and functions. As previously mentioned, roles are used to group a number of competencies together that are all relevant to a specific role. For example, if you have a sales team that all require the same competencies, you can create a role called Sales and simply drag and drop the relevant competencies. From there, the manager will now need to assign the relevant roles and/or competencies to the relevant worker records, whether they are candidates, employees, contractors, or volunteers. To do this, let's open up an employee record as an example. Click on their Training tab and either assign the role or the competency accordingly. So in this case, I'm going to assign the sales role that we just created. Once assigned, you'll notice that the group of competencies that fall under that role are shown beneath. It is here that you then update each competency to reflect the status and details of each training and qualification requirement. By clicking Update, a pop-up box comes out where you can select to either update the details, put in any dates. In this case, I'm going to put an expiry date. Going back, the other options is also to upload or attach supporting documentation. Alternatively, you can require your workers to complete this step by updating their details themselves via the self-service portal. The process of assigning roles and competencies will send the self-service user a notification within their account to complete. As already highlighted, enableHR empowers you with the functionality needed to complete some of these actions in bulk. If you have a number of competencies or roles to create and/or assign to employees, we do have an Excel spreadsheet importer to assist you on this. To find this importer, you will need to go to the Actions drop-down menu and select on Import. From there, you will need to select the Excel spreadsheet option, where you'll then see the Import Competency option. Within this importer, you have two options of either importing new competency data or updating competency data that are assigned and linked to a record. The setup process is now complete and ready to use. Going forward, your managers can update the training and qualification details at any stage of your worker's life cycle. Your candidates, employees, contractors, and volunteers can also update their details via their self-service account. As an example, I'm going to log in as an employee through their self-service account. Heading over to the self-service module, employees can see their training and qualification competencies under the Me drop-down menu and then selecting Training and Qualifications. From there, they can see already assigned competencies, which they can then update with supporting documentation or information. Once they update their competencies, it will then go back into the enableHR application for approval. Along with that, self-service users can also assign other competencies to their records and update the information accordingly. Heading back to the enableHR application, the training and qualification feature does provide a few reports. To do this, you'll need to go to the reporting option on your left-hand panel and view these reports under the training management section. In terms of support and resources available, there are knowledge-based articles providing details around the training and qualification feature. Alternatively, please feel free to contact the client experience team via these 3 channels. If you feel your organization requires more in-depth training, please contact the client experience team to submit a request. Thank you for watching and have a great day.